Welcome back to Camp Out West. If you've been watching our renovation journey from the start, you would have seen just how much rubbish was left not only on our land, but also buried underground. For the first year on our site, we spent pretty much every day removing as much rubbish as we could find, and we worked out in total so far we've removed over 26 tons of rubbish, and it's hard to believe we still have more rubbish left on site. Over the winter, we've been putting all the rubbish into piles, and today we're going to have a good spring clean and just get rid of anything that's left behind. We saw something blue that was poking out the ground, and it turned out to be an old paddling pool that was buried. Once everything was loaded, we headed down to our local recycling centre, Cum Environmental, to drop everything off. And while we were there, we went next door to their eco-village to pick up some free plant pots. This place is really cool. They fix and sell all the usable items that people have taken to the recycling centre and give them a second life.
It's a hedgehog house. Can we get one?
Do you reckon they make them?
It's £12. Can we get a hedgehog house, please?
I do.
Oh my gosh. Bowling ball. Stop.
You do not need that.
That's cool. It's like a fashion accessory.
They've even made an online store where you can shop everything secondhand. I'll pop a link in the description for anyone interested, but we came for some plant pots. For anyone local, when you come, just ask a member of staff and they will bring out this massive bag of used plant pots and you can help yourself. Disclaimer, watch out for the giant spiders hiding in the pots. So these are the pots that I picked up in the Etto shop yesterday. I thought they were the perfect size for when I'm ready to move all of my seedlings out of their plug trays and move them into bigger pots. And for the rest of the afternoon, we're just going to have a tidy up as we're actually doing a photo shoot on the land this week with the boot brand Les Chameaux. They kindly sent us some of their boots earlier in the year, back in January, and I know a lot of you have been asking in the comments what boots we've been wearing. So we're really excited to be working with them. We also have a giveaway coming up later in this video, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to take you along on the photo shoot so you can see what we get up to. A special thank you to Les Chameaux for sponsoring today's video.
It's been a couple of weeks now since we had our shoot with Les Chameaux, so we thought we'd share with you the video that they created of us while they were here, and stay tuned for the giveaway coming up. I'm John.
I'm Emily,
We're Camp Out West.
and we live in West Wales with our sweet dog Maggie. We bought an old abandoned caravan park a year and a half ago. It's always been our dream to build our own home and live within our means.
So this area is really special to me because I've got family ties in the whole valley. My granddad actually worked in the coal mine across the street, so he literally worked underground where we now live, which is crazy. We're in the process where we're clearing the land. It's been neglected for 20 years, so we're cutting down all the trees, and that's given us wood that we can chop up to make for firewood, and then we're storing that for when we've got our first guests, and then we're going to be having wood-fired hot tubs and saunas, and that's going to all be part of the sort of lifestyle that we sell at Camp Out West. So we're looking forward to actually sharing the space with people. I think it's such a beautiful location. It's like a forgotten corner of Wales, like nobody's coming to, and that's our unique selling point.
It was always our dream to be more self-sufficient, and we always wanted to have our own chickens and grow our own food, so getting to go and see our chickens in the morning and get their eggs and grow our own food on the land and harvest the vegetables has just been amazing.
So with our weather and our climate, we literally live in our boots. So it's so important for us to have something that's comfortable and reliable every day.
The first 18 months on the land has made us realise we don't really need much to be happy, and taught us that you can have the bare essentials and you can have the best life.
It's really cool to see the video that they put together about our story. I hope you enjoyed watching it all unfold, like the behind the scenes shots and the completed film. If you follow us on Instagram, you can head over there and see some of the photographs from the shoot as well. We're excited to have teamed up with Les Chameaux for a giveaway. So there's the opportunity for 2 people to win a pair of their boots. So if you'd like to enter, just comment below what style of boot and what colour you would choose. And we will pick the winners in the next video. And thanks again to Les Chameaux for sponsoring today's video. We are just about to set off in the car. We're heading to Bristol this afternoon. We've been looking online for weeks and weeks to find our own scaffold platform. The one that we had been using in the videos was one that we rented. We spent £400 renting it for like a block of time, but because of the weather we haven't managed to get all the jobs done that we wanted with it. So we figured it makes more sense long term to just go and buy a similar platform. So that's what we've done. We found one second hand and we're going to go and get it today. And we figured there's going to be loads of jobs like for the cabin build and for future projects, which is going to be useful for.
Once the scaffolding was loaded up, we gave Maggie a walk and then headed back on the road. Time to get the scaffolding set up.
Yesterday we set up our scaffold platform, so it's ready to go. As you can see, the sun is now out, so we can crack on with the cabin build. In the past few videos, we've had a couple of comments mentioning we might have been missing a couple of trusses, so to go on the ends of the building. But the way that the roof has been designed by the truss manufacturer, we don't need those end trusses. Instead, where we've got our gable ladders coming off the building, we're going to be building what's called a spandrel panel. So it's essentially from the top plate of the wall, we're going to be building an extra triangle of the same material as the wall. And that basically carries on the wall and supports the gable ladders. Reason for that is it means we can have the full wall insulation right the way up the side of the building. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I think Maggie is made for warmer climates. On you go. Sun go.
Now all the wood was cut, it was time for John to fix them in place. While John was working on the spandrel panels, I was in the greenhouse planting some seeds. First up was some watermelon radish. So one of the things I've been really excited about growing this year is microgreens, and I ordered a little mini microgreen propagator, and I'm just going to put all my seeds in and see how long it takes to get our first batch. So I wanted a good variety of flavours for our microgreens, so I went for a good mix. I went for alfalfa seeds, broccoli seeds, radish seeds and pea seeds. So it's been a week and a half since I planted all the courgettes, and the seedlings have finally started to come out. I put them in this big plastic bag. This is what our generator came in, and I just used it just to trap all the heat in. They are on heat mats just because it's still quite cold here. But yeah, I'm so excited. These are the first courgettes we have ever planted from seed, and we really wanted to grow food this year that we eat the most of, so it's things we don't have to go to the supermarket for, and courgette is something we eat pretty much every single day, so I made sure to plant a lot of them, so it's really exciting to see so many of the seedlings come through. So next to my courgettes on the heat mats, I've also got my tomatoes, my cucumbers and my alpine strawberries, and the cucumbers have come out so well. They actually started coming through the seedlings after 2 days. And then my tomatoes, they're a bit slower, but they're doing great. And the slowest ones are my alpine strawberries. I have got one tiny little seedling out of about 50 seeds that have come through. So when we were researching other things to try and grow on the land, we thought ginger would be a really good option. Not only is it really, really easy, we use it a lot in our cooking, and we also realised it's one of the food items that has some of the biggest air miles on it. Most of the ginger in the UK actually comes from China, so we thought this would be a really good option to have a go growing this year. First I added compost into big containers. Then I mixed in some perlite to help with drainage and keep the soil nice and light. Before planting ginger, if you've bought it from a supermarket, make sure to leave it in water overnight in case it has any growth inhibitors on it. When deciding what ginger to plant, you want to make sure it has at least 2 of these eyes on, and then you just pop them in your compost with the eyes facing up. Cover them up and give them a good water, and it's as simple as that. Next, I'm going to be planting some loofah seeds. I really love the idea of being able to grow our own sponges on the land that guests can use in the cabins. But I did read online that they are quite tricky to germinate. So I'm just going to cut a little tear in the side of the seeds, which helps the water get through the hard shell. And hopefully it will help them just germinate a bit quicker. So I put my loofah seeds in some wet kitchen roll and then put them in a Ziploc bag, and I'm going to leave them on one of our heat mats to try and speed up the germination process. So we've also been planting a mix of other vegetables and flowers. So I've planted some aster flowers, some rainbow carrots, some zinnias in peach and cream colour, which are my favourites, some spinach, some calendulas to help keep the slugs away, and also strawberry sticks. I've also planted a mix of cabbages because we eat a lot in our curries. I've got green cabbage, red cabbage, some cauliflower, and also some more flowers at the back, some pink and white cosmos.
If you'd watched the video where we built this greenhouse, you'll know that this is just a temporary greenhouse. So we're using this to plant all of our seeds to get our plants started. But we've actually bought in the Black Friday sale a massive polycarbonate polytunnel. So it's actually 8 meters by 4 meters, so quite substantial. But while we've got this space, we want to try and make the most of it. Everyone commented how tall we'd made it. That's purely just because of the size of these sheets of plastic came. So this is actually 2.5 meters tall. So we're going to utilize some more of that space. I bought some cheap shelf brackets, and we're going to use some offcuts of the OSB we've got from doing the cabin. And we're just going to make some shelving that kind of goes around the top. That's just going to give us some more space for seedlings to grow.
So it's been 4 days since I planted all of my loofah seeds, and I did a little experiment. In one bag I snipped the side of the shell of half the seeds, and in the other bag I just left them completely whole just to see if it actually made a difference in their germinating time. So I'm just going to open the bags and see how well they've done. Wow. I think these are the ones that I didn't snip. So this is the seeds that I snipped the shell, the side of the shell. This is the one that I snipped. You can see I've actually cut in to the inside of it, so it's grown out a bit funny, and these are the ones I didn't snip. They've been in the bags for the same amount of time, and they've germinated a tiny bit slower, but in my opinion, I don't think necessarily you actually need to snip the shell. So now my loofah seeds have germinated, I'm going to pot them and put them onto heat mats just to help them grow. I took a break from the greenhouse to help John move the scaffolding so he could finish the last spandrel panel.
I've just finished the spandrel panel on the front of the cabin, so we've just wheeled the scaffold round and we've got one more pretty much identical to do, so we're going to crack on with that. So I've just finished framing the second spandrel panel and it's nice and solid. So this is the gable ladder. You can see now how solid that is. So that's not going anywhere. So this is what I've been doing. So I've essentially just been framing up the wall so that the gable ladders are fully supported. So this is the gable ladder and then this is the framework I've just been doing for the spandrel panel. So you can see how it holds up this overhang, so this is absolutely solid now. So once we get a nice bit of weather, I think we've got a week until we got some sun, we're going to board out the roof and get it watertight, and then we're going to also board this out, so this will just be an extension of the wall. But that's the end of today's video. Glad to get a good bit of progress, but we'll see you next time.